Hey there, it's Jen, otherwise known as Posh Seller. I generally do 13 videos, but I'm also going to be bringing you a few new things. And today I'm going to talk about vertical sleeve gastrectomy and what to expect before you even start. So if you're thinking about getting a VSG or having any kind of weight loss surgery, the number one thing I will tell you is you need to do research. But before I get into that, let me tell you my stats. So I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy on April 4th of 2017. My highest weight was 240 pounds. Before I had surgery, I was down to, I think, 223. I was sleeved at 223, and I am now, I have like a 4-pound bounce back and forth. So usually like between 168 and 172. I went from a size 26, 28 to a size 12. I lost over 10 inches alone from my waist. I also used to wear a 3X. Now I can wear a medium or a large shirt. So definitely a huge jump. I still have weight to lose. At 5'3.5, I would like to lose about 10 more pounds to reach my total goal weight. So there are my stats. Let's get into what this video is about. So there is a lot of prep work. So if you're thinking about VSG, you need to start now, because this is not like a overnight deal where tomorrow you can go in and get your surgery. You need to look and do research. There's a ton of YouTube videos out there. I highly suggest that. That's what I did. I watched a lot of videos, people's success, people's failures, just to see like what it was all about. So that will give you a realistic view. 2, you need to check with your insurance company. Vertical sleeve gastrectomy is not a cheap surgery. If you're planning on doing it without insurance, or if your insurance will even cover it, and that's something you need to find out. You need to look in your insurance information. You need to call your insurance company. Those are things. Now, with me, my husband's insurance covered my entire procedure up to 80, I think 80-some%. So I only had to pay a certain amount of money, but you have to go to the doctors a lot. And I will get to that, and that may even be a separate video. So there is a cost involved in all of this. But that would be my first step. In addition to your insurance company finding that out first, because you can go other places, you need to find a decent surgeon. So in my case, I found a good surgeon. However, I was not pleased with his staff in the end after I had my VSG done. So I actually no longer go to that office. He's a great surgeon. He did a great job. But I can't deal with some of his staff and the way they treated me, so I will no longer be going back there. But you want to do your research on the surgeon, not the staff, and find out like how many procedures they performed, the successes and the failures. You need to find that information out before you pick a surgeon. There are requirements they will give you. If you call a surgeon's office, they're going to tell you what you need to do. A lot of times you have to sign up for this initial class I had to go to. It's like a seminar. It's a one-time class. That's the first thing you need to do. Once you attend that, you are allowed to make an appointment with the bariatric surgeon so you can discuss the process and what has to be done, because they will give you a checklist of all the things that you have to do in order to qualify for the surgery. So definitely check into that, and your insurance company will also tie into this. So my insurance company required a 6-month weight loss program prior to doing the surgery. They want to make sure that you are fit or minded into the set of getting this surgery, because the surgery is not a Band-Aid. I will say that over and over again as I go through this. It doesn't fix your problems. I still have weight to lose, but I was needing it. So you have to go through that weight loss, and I didn't do very well. I had been on weight loss programs, and I will show you my binder. I have this thick binder full of all this doctor stuff and my weight just going up and down and up and down. So that was one way for me to track and show improve. But I did have to do a weight loss program. Sometimes if it has to be documented. So I went to my doctors every month and we documented my progress through the 6 months. So it took me 6 months, actually a little bit longer, to just get that part done. So once that part is done, you also have other visits. You need to go to a therapist, or should I say a psychological evaluation, not a therapist. So this person has to say you are mentally okay to have this surgery, and they will say, yes, you're good. It's not always that easy. If you have any depression or mental instability or history of a mental illness like I did, it can be not as easy. I had to end up going to therapy sessions once a month prior to having the surgery to prepare, because this is a very emotional, very large deal. You are changing your body, you're changing the way your body operates, so they have to make sure you're okay. Because I had a history of depression, I had to do that. And I have to say, she didn't approve me until the end of the process, so they don't take that lightly. And along with that, you have a ton of doctor's visits that you need to go to. If you've never had an upper GI, I had one, so I didn't have to do that, but they do an endoscopy where they put a little camera down into your stomach and they make sure that you're all good, because they want to make sure like how that is. So that has to be done. Luckily, I got to skip that part because I had one done prior as I was having issues with my upper GI tract. So that was off my plate. You also have to see a cardiologist doctor to make sure your heart is in good condition. It's not an invasive thing, but it's something like they make you do all these tests, like you breathe into these tubes. They want to make sure your lungs are okay, just because it's a very big surgery. You also need to, like I said, see the GI doctor. I had to have an arterial blood gas, which was the most painful procedure I've ever had. They go into your artery right here in your wrist to make sure your arterial blood gas is good. Probably worse than childbirth, way up there on the list of not things that you want to have done. I'll have to go through my checklist, but there are a lot of things that you absolutely have to do. Like my blood pressure is high, so I had to make sure that that was in sync. You just have to do all of these things, and you're going to pay copays. You're going to have to pay like any fees for any of the tests that you have to have done. And sometimes you can get them done like fairly quickly. So I recommend a planner. If you don't have a planner, you might want to get one, because you're going to be scheduling a lot of appointments. You're going to be seeing your general doctor once a month, not the surgeon, your general doctor, or whatever weight loss program you have. So it's a definite, consistent basis. I also tried phentermine when I was not sleeved. We tried different things to see what would help with my weight loss. We changed my eating. Oh yes, you also have to have like a nutritionist, which when you have an eating problem, it's definitely hard, but it helps you get into the mindset. You also get to go to like a little class where it tells you what it's going to be like when you are done with the surgery and how you're going to eat. So that's kind of like a prepared method. This is not an overnight deal. You're not gonna just go in and get the surgery and be done. So be prepared. Get your planner, figure out how you're gonna schedule your appointments, do your research, get yourself together, and get ready for a very crazy few months ride. And hey, if you already have a documented weight loss program that you've been doing consistently, whatever your insurance requires, good for you, because that's one less thing that you have to worry about, and it will speed up the process. But you still got to schedule all those appointments, and you still have to do a bunch of other things that are not as fun. But I will say that going into this at 240 pounds and being where I am now and being roughly 12 pounds away from my goal weight, I'm really happy with my choice. I couldn't have made a better decision because now I don't have blood pressure, as much of a blood pressure problem. I am not at risk for diabetes. I'm active. I do a lot. I'm always on the go. I feel like I'm more successful. I feel like people treat me differently now, which I will get into in another video. It's definitely something to consider, but just know that it's not something that happens overnight. I wish you the best of luck if you are starting your journey, and I will be showing you some before and after pictures. I just haven't gotten that far yet. So just keep in mind that, you know, there are a lot of people out there that will support you and help you through this process. Make sure you have a good support system because you're gonna need it. It's never ending, and the things don't really stop. I mean, I still have that mentality of food in my head even after this surgery. So I will also get into that in another video. So I will leave more information about insurance as you know in another video. Please feel free to subscribe if you're interested in vertical sleeve gastrectomy, VSG information, or if you're interested in unboxings or thrift hauls or my selling stuff that I sell on Poshmark. But that's all I have for you today. See you soon.